Hello. Hello to the gamers.
If you just lean forward slightly, I can get this headpiece on you.
Welcome. Welcome to City 17. Little throwback there, guys. If anyone's played a little game called Half-Life 2. Hello, kitten.
Whoa, princess. Care for a gank?
Alright, let's get some music playing. Some tunes. Waiting for the game to start, guys. We've got a little bit of downtime. I thought I was going to be late, but as expected, the games always start late. Hello, princess. Care for a gank? The boys are in the lobby together. I see you. Setting the ranks. Bro, how long? Why aren't you divine yet, bro? What are you doing? Hurry up and be divine. Oh, I see. This was the rank up game and you lost. Because you played this hero. What is this chess piece? What the this looks wonky as. How come I'm there, bro. I'm basically there. Alright? I'm 3%. I'm 6 MMR. You buffhead? You bloody buffhead? Alright guys, which one do I get on Arcana? Which one am I buying with the token? If it's me, maybe Ogre, but actually what I'm thinking is TB. What do you guys think? TB angle? Might be MK angle. Yeah, Ogre's nice, man. I kind of like the Ogre one. I love LC so much. What heroes are we most... I think what I'm most excited for is a Bat Rider mid from Mayhem, if Elegy's playing. I'm not sure if they're playing. Looks like she is playing. Cool. Otherwise, I'm looking forward to a Slardar from Devious. Maybe a Muncie Ursa. But it looks like he hasn't been playing too much Ursa here. I think Devious is Scroats, Novalau, Muncie, Pluzzy, and Shoyu, I believe. Collapse Slardar? No, I didn't get a chance to see it. I didn't see Killer Ari Slardar. Let me show you Killer Ari Slardar. Absolute menace. There's 10-minute inventory. Holy. Nah, Killari's not in this. Oh, they started. Cool. Let's watch. Alright guys, before we load in, I'm gonna go get a quick drink of water. I'll be right back. Alright, gamers, I am back. Hope everyone's had a good day today, by the way. Well, I live in Sydney, and the weather in Sydney, by the way, has been absolutely fucking miserable for many weeks, but many days. And this weekend, somehow we were blessed with some good weather. It was nice to go out, have some lunch with the missus, do a little bit of shopping. Hope everyone else's weekend was pretty good so far. I'm having this kind of problem lately where I can't, everything I'm listening to is annoying me. Nothing I listen to is like putting me into flow state, you know? Really pissing me off. I've been playing with no sound, and then when you play with no sound, it doesn't really hit, you know? It irks me. Between listening to outside music and listening to in-game music packs. I haven't had music on for ages. It's always been nothing for so long. Maybe I'll try with music, I don't know. Anyone heard the new Leve album, by the way? Came out a few days ago. Or Lorfi, if you say it how it's spelled. It's okay. I feel like it's a little melodramatic this time. Doesn't have the same whimsy that the first one had. First album. And of course we got a 5-minute delay, which is lovely. So we get to fucking hold our dicks for 5 minutes while we wait for the game to start. Yeah, big honk shoe. It's always dicey when an artist changes their vibe. Yeah, I feel like it's the same vibe. It's just like there was a few songs that had that like, not melodramatic, maybe that's a bit too far, but like it had that like, that vibe in the first album. But this album, it's like she doubled down on it. And there's not, like a lot of her songs were very, very like tongue-in-cheek, very whimsical. I found like this album, it doesn't give me the same sense of whimsy. That's the best word to describe it. But it looks like we're about to get started, so we can stop talking about Leve. I mean, start talking about the draft, because I think if I'm not mistaken, this is the very first game of the Interdivision for Phoenix Season 3. So that's very exciting to see. And maybe I'm wrong about that actually. I think actually the first game was yesterday. I think Mayhem versus 25%. So game number 2, Mayhem game 1 and game 2. So we'll see how they go in here. I heard that they have two subs here for Mayhem, and it looks like they do Swift Das and Lamb Supreme, which I think is Missy if I'm not mistaken. So that means there's no Claire, and there's no Spring Roll. So I think that's fair. Spring Roll their usual pos 3, and Claire their usual pos 5. So we'll see where they go with this. I think Swift Das will probably play pos 3, but we're jumping into the bands, and looks like it is going to be first pick of Radiant for Mayhem, which is very interesting. I guess Devious felt... I'm guessing Devious probably won the dice roll, and they probably decided to pick Dire for some reason, or second pick. So fair enough. But first pick Radiant for Mayhem, so usually that's what most people will go for, first pick or Radiant. But they're going to the bands now. Dawnbreaker band, which is, I don't know, I feel like this hero is just so strong. It's pretty good in the lane, and above pretty good in the lane, probably. LC ban is very weird. Just going to touch on that real quick. But also Axe. A whole bunch of offlaners being banned here. Scroat's being targeted, but none of the ones that he's really known for here. Meanwhile, on Devious, they do jump into their bans, which is Earth Spirit first. Of course, Elegy very well known for her Earth Spirit, but I haven't seen her play it too much. I haven't seen her play it too much, but the Lina ban is, I think that's a warranted one against Mayhem. They do like to play mid and safe lane. Lich ban as well, that's more of a Claire classic, so I'm not too sure where they're going with that. I guess they feel like maybe it's something to do with their draft. We'll see where they go. And Silencer as well. Yeah, I know. LC first ban in the first 3 is wild. I don't really get it at all. The only thing I can think of is a low cooldown Dispel, but like if that's the case that you want low cooldown hard Dispel, if that's the case, why don't you just pick Abaddon? So I'm not sure. Anyways, the bans do come through, and the Puck is banned as well as the Earth Spirit. Not Earth Spirit, Ember Spirit. I heard, by the way, I had a look at the chat between the two teams. You guys don't have access to this if you are playing the tournament, but apparently Matino is helping them draft, so he's the main drafter at the moment for them. So I wouldn't be surprised if Matino is the one doing the drafting right now. For some reason, it feels LC is the ban. So, fair enough. And Devious, they're coming in with their 5th ban here before we go into the second phase of picks. And they're going to actually go for Shaker, which is an interesting one. Shaker, I think, going up the meta quite a bit right now. A lot of teams really prioritizing this hero. Very, very strong. Just kind of just can win you games out of nowhere. Decent in the lane, I would say. Decent. Can get bullied out for sure, but pretty decent. But has good ways of making that come back with the Shard, the level 10 talent, and Kaya. Just farming with the Fissure. But Devious, they decided to go down the Nature's Prophet angle. Of course, they did pick that Shadow Shaman in their first phase. That was their pick number 9. But Mayhem actually did have first pick, and they prioritized their Queen of Pain. And I can respect that. The Queen of Pain really... It's kind of a miserable hero to verse, especially when it's even slightly ahead. It gets pretty good stat gain. The items it buys usually gives it good health, and it gets a lot of lifesteal from its innate facet. So I'm not too surprised with this choice. But they do have some decent heroes against it. Shadow Shaman obviously giving that insane lockdown. If they do choose to go for that, that Chicken Fingers gives him another source of hex. But of course they can go for the big snake, which is my preferred choice, because that thing just absolutely pumps. So let's see where they go from here. But Mayhem, it is their turn to pick 2 heroes in a row on 14-15. Yeah, I can explain the Earth Spirit ban. So it's just a very, very popular, not very popular, but like it's Elegy is very, very good at playing Earth Spirit. That's basically it. Yeah. Yeah, but so for this 14-15 picks, Mayhem, they do opt for the Tusk here. Tusk, usually a pretty safe pick, but normally you want to pair this with someone who you can utilize the tag team in the lane. So you're probably looking for something like, I would say Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker is probably the best, one of the best pairings with Tusk, because each swipe of the Starbreaker, I believe, procs the tag team. Also, like, you know, Dawnbreaker is super strong in the lane. I've heard rumblings of Veno Tusk. We'll see if they go down that angle, but I'm sure they're going to pick something in that angle. But Axe is banned. They do pick the Dazzle because the Axe is banned, but also this Dazzle hero, very powerful save hero, especially if you know what you're doing with the hero. Gives you a lot of minus armor just consequently. And of course that save is there as well. So Devious, they actually do a little yoinkies of that Batrider pick, and I think this is probably going to be Scroats playing the Batrider, I would say. Probably playing Pos 3. If I know Shoyu, he normally saves his hero for last-ish, unless Queen is available. So we'll see where they go from here. I will say there was a recent nerf to, well, no, recent buff, I guess, quote-unquote buff to Batrider, where a lot of his, a lot of spells could randomly take people out of his the grab from Batrider. One of those spells was Snowball, and that was recently nerfed. So Tusk is a little bit weaker against Batrider in general right now. Of course, you can always just snowball to chase to stop the Batrider going in, but here comes the Underlord pick, and I guess I was wrong about that Scroats Batrider, because this is almost certainly going to be the mid Batrider. It could be a pos 4 actually. We did scrim Devious once, and it was Novalau playing Batrider, so we'll see where they go from here. Underlord are going to be their pos 3 choice, and I think that's a pretty safe Ursa pick here. It is quite good into the Underlord, but if it is a Batrider 4, it can be a little bit miserable for the Ursa for him to turn around. Basically chase heroes because of that reduced turn speed from the sticky napalm. So we'll see how that lane goes. If that lane is Dazzle Ursa, it's a pretty strong lane, honestly. Dazzle Ursa sounds pretty miserable for anyone to fight into. I think they should probably focus on taking some stacks, stacking and playing for their stacks. By the way, I'm assuming this is going to be a pos 4 Batrider, played by Novalau. But we are jumping into the bans. Last round of bans here. I'm guessing Devious, they're going to be saving their mid laner here. And I think they understand as well that this is going to be a pos 4 Batrider, because they are banning that DK. Mayhem are looking for their off laner here. To me. What's looking good? I mean, what other strong off laners are in the pool? There's Undying completely untouched, by the way, in this entire draft. That's an angle that they could go for if they choose to go down that angle. There's Vengeful Spirit still in the pool. Kunkar, of course, is available. This is a Swift Ass pos 3, I believe. So Terrorblade? Huh? Brewmaster? Actually, I'm not opposed to Brewmaster. I think it's decent, but it's one of those heroes you gotta know how to play. I kind of like Undying pos 3 a little bit here, because you're probably going to be versing Nature's Prophet, Shadow Shaman. They both have, at early levels, not the most strength. And with Tusk, it does give you a good way to get on top of someone. Hey, Kilari, how you going, brother? Good to see you here. Also, the other thing with the Undying pos 3 that you do get is that the Shard save on Tombstone can be used to save out of Batrider. I don't think Mars gives them too much here. Like, it both doesn't stop saves and also doesn't stop any auto attacking from heroes from the outside other than NP. But then NP can probably just TP in if he chooses to fight like that. It also gives a very obvious place for Underlord to press his spells.
10 seconds to go.
So we'll see where it goes. But looks like they are instead deciding to ban out that Magnusi. And I mean, Magnus, always pretty much a safe pick in general. Does give you a lot of teamfight ulti, and most importantly, BKB piercing teamfight ulti. So that's super duper powerful. Definitely been the victim lately in a bunch of my games where we don't have anything that goes through BKB, or anything good that goes through BKB, and just turns into run from the Sven who has BKB on. So do respect that. Invoker being the other band. Ember Spirit's also banned. Invoker's banned. I'm trying to think what they want to pick for Shoyu a little bit. Yeah, the Muncie Mag is good, but I think Muncie's playing pos 1 in this. I mean, not that you can't play Mag pos 1, but I believe he's going to be playing NP.
10 seconds to go.
They picked Ursa into Underlord, yeah.
5 seconds.
That was at 18 Ursa. Go for the DP. Interesting. Pos 3 DP. It's actually, I will say, it's actually not horrendous, because there's not a lot of burst here on the side of Devious. For the lane, it can, I think it could be a little bit sus. But I've played this lane before, Tusk DP. It's not horrible.
5 seconds.
I don't know, I'm kind of vibing with this DP pick, not gonna lie guys. There's no AA in the pool. Nothing to really stop it. I'm just trying to think what's coming from mid. That's going to be a problem for this draft. I mean, the problem is if Underlord gets Ags Glipnir, it's fucking miserable for Mayhem. Boots of Bearing look really good for Devious as well, if they want to go down that angle. Huskar's pretty average into Ursa, I will say, and they also have a Dazzle save. Lots of single target go. Makes Lincoln's really good. I mean, they could, but I don't think Shoryu plays Huskar. It's also annoying. I think they're just going to go with like Puck. I have a feeling they're just going to pick Puck. There's not a lot of instant cast disables for the Puck. If the Puck plays correctly, it can dodge the silence, it can dodge Dazzle Hex, it can dodge Queen of Pain in the lane. Good against Ursa. The coil's also more control. Was Puck spanned? Ah, so it is. Apologies. Yeah, so it is. So it is. See where they go from here. Brizzler. Interesting. Alright, so they decide to shift the roles around. Looks like they're going to be playing Batrider in mid. That's my guess. Oh, still Novalau Batrider. Oh, no, it's a mid NP.
5 seconds.
Once you're playing safe lane BB. Swiftfast playing pos 1? Ophelia playing mid? Elegy playing Tusk? Wow, they really moved it around a lot. What the fuck is these people playing these heroes? I was not expecting Icy to be playing DP. Interesting. Muncie Bristle, huh? Safe lane Bristle. With Shaman. It's pretty good. Actually, I think Necro safe lane might have been even a little bit better for Devious, right? Gives you innate Dispel from the W. I mean, I guess there's also versing into Dazzle. That does make it, and Tusk as well. I take that back. I'm sorry, guys. I'm completely wrong. Necro was not better. There's Snowball and Grave to save against all the ulti. It's not good. It's not better. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Shoryu has been. I know he's been playing against playing as this NP as mid quite a bit, especially in officials. So we'll see how they go. Bring up the facets a little bit. The GLHF does come out. It's going to be nothing too unusual. I mean, Poison Bloom for a support is interesting, assuming this is support. It is. I normally take the Nothel Boon if I'm playing sup, but look, this one's okay. Spirit Collector, I think this one's okay as well, but personally I like the one that gives you like rum for free. I think that's really nice, but looks like there's going to be a little bit of a battle here. Demon's Reach is of course normal. Ophelia Smoke does break. They do just randomly throw out the Flame Break to no avail, and that's going to be the end of the engagement. I'm just going to split it 2-2 here. I don't think that this one is good for support, to be honest. That's my take, but yeah, I'm happy to be proven wrong. The other thing I'm worried about here is, like, if you're spending your Poison Touch to farm, it's like a decently long cooldown spell. Swithas is being stalked here in the bottom lane. Scroats. Ms. D's lit class. Throw you. Okay, I don't get this. Does anyone understand this one? Miss D's lit class. Obviously, it's literature class, but I don't know who Ms. D is. Lenny's tummy. Muncie has nothing. Novalau has nothing. Elegy and Icy. Interesting. Pos 3. Novalau playing pos 5 Batrider. Ophelia is stuck here. We'll see how it goes. Bring up the last hits and denies. Elegy being pushed in. Novalau copying some, sending some auto attacks towards the Radiant team. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly where the power is going to come, like where the kills are going to come. I know bottom can they can get kills on the Radiant side early on. Just depends on the positioning really of the opponents. A bit of harass happening here. And Missy just copying some auto attacks. Doesn't get the reset there. And that's only healing for about 70 health. Not the most. Overlap pulling through. This one unblocked. This is a full pull, so the lane will eventually continue to push back. We'll see what they do here. Unless Neverland's going to do a pull through, so respective if that's where he goes for. He's going for it. They do need to stop this with Elegy. That's not good. They are going to continue to pull through, but all good. Mid lane, NP TPing back home, getting a little bit of a reset, get their items. Just buying some stats here in this lane. Respectable. The real problem here is in the bottom lane. The lanes are very pushed here, and it's going to be very easy for Scroats to farm right under the tower. It's literally perfect positioning for the Dire team. So really nicely done for him. It will eventually bounce back in a second because the lane is pushing, but this is like 2 or 3 waves that were right in front of the tower, so Scroats having a very, very good time.
We're gonna need a clean up in the middle lane. Clean up middle lane, thank you.
I don't know when this plays. I like my brain just goes blank. I don't know. I just have to listen to it all the way through. I can't just talk through it. I don't know why. It's just like my brain is just like bleh. Let's see. Elegy did take tag team, so cool to see. Not opposed to a little, drinking buddies lately. By the way, I think it's still pretty decent. With Das. I keep getting these like 100 ping servers that I'm watching from. It's so annoying. Top lane, Elegy does get yoinked. That was 10 stack of the sticky napalm. Icy trying to get something done, but this is the stack lane. They're gonna have bristle stacks and they are gonna have sticky napalm stacks. And with that, at his first blood, Muncie gets dived. With all those stacks of cool spray, does make it happen. They're gonna TP in here on the task. I don't think that's as safe as you think it is. But is gonna make sure they secure all that XP. Nicely done. LG does have snowball now, so nice to see. Yeah, you can't really do much in this lane. Into Batrider. Two top on the CS right now. Does have 19 CS and 7 deniers, so nicely done. Ophelia not too far behind, but looks like they're getting another kill here at top. Muncie under the tower, no snowball, couple more nukes, and there's another double kill. If I'm not mistaken, they won't have TPs here. Yeah, they don't have TPs, so it's a miserable time in the top lane. You hate to be in this position if you're in Radiant. They're going to have to rely on stuff like stacks to bring DP back into this game. The BB pick was really, really nice. It is actually really annoying because like, this viscous nasal goo and the sticky napalm, it's so annoying to fight into. Have to see what they do on the other side of the map though. Show you. Getting his CS up. Ophelia does match now. The CS. Showing the urn, so he's going to see lots of active movements from this NP when he does get there. Bottom lane, in stark contrast to top though, there hasn't been any kills at all. Muncie level 5, by the way. The Ursa just now hitting level 4. Oh, Novalau comes through. I don't think Missy realized that there was Batrider was here, and here comes the first movement from NP. He's coming through. Did use his sprout earlier, but I don't think it's going to make any kind of difference. Swiftdash is here. A couple more auto attacks. And with those cool movements, they do absolutely destroy this bottom lane. And 5.5 minutes. 2k net worth lead already. And it's looking grim for Mayhem. It's looking grim, and there's no grim stroke in the game. Alright, so Ophelia is probably going to be needing to be the person who's going to be making moves on the Radiant team, because they are going to need to get online with her ulti, which does come now. And that's going to be one way for them to kill someone, because at the moment they have no kills at all. No pressure on the map at all. And NP is TPing to the top lane. They do dive. Shoyu's here. Icy getting dove. Does get some suck. Is surviving with the suck, but it's not going to matter too much because there's a lot of nukes. But I tell a lie. Here comes the movement from Ophelia. The silence is here. Icy is going to die for sure. But Bristleback making their way out, has so much stacks, has done so much damage in this fight. Needs to be careful, but will go down as well. And just like that, a nice little double kill for Ophelia. And like I just mentioned, she did need to get involved. And that was even without her ulti. So nicely done. This is going to secure the XP rune. Scroats. I keep calling it XP rune. I guess XP shrine. Scroats now being able to just cut the lane. His cheering in this lane probably felt like he was going to be a little bit put under because of this Ursa, but yeah, just the lane was just in such a good position for them at bot. Just felt like they couldn't put any pressure at all. Muncie's back. They are throwing some auto attacks. They does take a little bit of damage from this poison touch, not the most, but let's get some. Oh, Scroats. They do find Swift Ass here, and this is going to be the death of him for sure. A couple of auto attacks, just sitting there with that max E, well, starting to max shackles on Kozzy, plus the Hex. It's miserable. Top lane, Elegy does get deleted as well. And they've moved 3 heroes here on the Radiant team, but I don't think it's really going to amount to much. They really can't do anything without Ophelia being a part of any kind of movements. I think Ophelia understands this as well, but she definitely wants to get towards that blade mail before she gets really involved. Maybe can start on some dives. Can TP on some dives instead, but doesn't have a TP at the moment. Is coming out right now, so nice to see. Cool little ward here by Novalau. Gets to see the rune and any movements in the river. Bottom lane, some movements are happening. If we're speaking about movements, Icy just being a target of this, but Shoyu and Muncie are jumping in on top of Dazzle. They does have a nice little grave TP, but leaves Icy to her doom. Ophelia's here actually, does have a blink, does blink forward. Ophelia doesn't have any more mana though, needs to get some mana, but Elegy does secure the kill on the back line. Ophelia trying to run away, will have a blink in 2 seconds, will probably be fine, is 100% fine. On the back lines, Elegy trying to find something, doesn't find anything. Oh, still chasing here from Ophelia. Let's have the regen rune going. I don't think it's Muncie really the strongest he thinks he is here. I think he might be because Ophelia needs to use the ulti. They are jumping in. Ophelia sends the ult, does also follow up with the E. There is the shackles on top, but the silence doesn't follow it up. There's no blink for a little bit. I think it's going to be the death of Ophelia. Nice grave here from Missy. Does hit the double Q, does jump away here but from Ophelia, but it's not going to matter too much because those little bit of lingering damage from those auto attacks from the Batrider does secure it. And Lamb Supreme, aka Missy, getting put into the grave. And unfortunately, it's not a shallow one because that was on cooldown. Nice attempt there from the save from the Dazzle, but of course doesn't do any healing unless you're in Nothal projection. That's when it does the actual healing. It took me a few deaths on my opponents, on my teammates to understand that as well. So fully understand that. So with Das going towards that Battle Fury, it's going to be late. It's going to be very late. And meanwhile, guys, Scroats is at the top lane, absolutely destroying Icy. And unfortunately, Icy having a very, very tough game here. I think, what are they? 0-4. Grim. DD rune. Secured. Okay, gold lead already here for Devious. And Underlord does only have a bit of stats heading towards what looks like Vlad's, or is that a mom? Actually, don't. I think this is mom, right? That's what this makes. Yeah, a full mom. Definitely makes sense with that Demon's Reach, so makes sense.
Double damage.
Because he does need to get his level 6. That's going to be a big part of their pushing, that's going to be a big part of how they can take objectives, is that Mass Serpent Ward, or Giant Serpent Ward rather. We'll try and commit that probably in the mid lane, but meanwhile, top lane, they do jump onto Scro. It's a little bit of a nombo getting pushed out of the icebergs there, but Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, they did find Swift-Ass farming on the bottom, and that's going to be the death of him as well. So as soon as they saw that movement, they were very happy to try and dive the bottom lane, find Swift-Ass, and it was punished. Swift-Ass not even making the incorrect play here. Was farming quite deep, so the ward committed is going to take the mid tower. Nicely done from Kozi. And even though they made that movement, they probably didn't lose any gold in that exchange, because of course they did kill the Ursa, and they did take the mid tier 1, and Ursa is back here on bottom with only 1 broadsword to their name. It's a miserable time here for the offlaners. The only one having any kind of semblance of a decent game is Ophelia. Elegy and Kozi saying hello to each other. To no avail. The Blink Dagger, about 1/3 done. Elegy does have the urn. Going towards the Spirit Vessel. Spirit Vessel, very good item against Underlord as well as Bristle. But let's have a look at the net worth, guys. And I think it's, as you guys probably expected, all of the cores looking very powerful for Devious. And honestly, Swift-Ass and Ophelia not too far behind for how this game state is going. It's just Icy who's looking like in a miserable position here. A lot of mobility on the Dire team, of course. They do have NP, and they do have this Fiend's Gate available whenever they choose to take it. Might be here on level 9, but I have a strong feeling that Strokes is going to go for the Atrophy Aura. Kozi does get the Snowball, trying to force some movements maybe. Let's hit the Hex. He's going to be able to get the Shackle, but yeah, I think this is going to be the death of Elegy here, almost certainly. Could have used the Eye Shards to block this little area here, but not going to make any kind of difference. Does try and TP out. Yeah, does get next round of Shackle. And Elegy does die. And, you know, is that death worth? Maybe. If it means that Swift-Ass can farm up their Blink Dagger, their Battle Fury, then it's definitely worth. DP's coming in. Not quite Rainbow. Coming into mid lane to defend that mid tier 1. And it's kind of a problem that I'm kind of foreseeing here for Essence Madness, is that they don't really have a way to take towers unless Icy can have their Exorcism going. And Icy at this stage, I think if they press Exorcism, I think Dire is not going to care too much at all. Fuzzy is going to try and make some moves, I'm guessing, for this XP rune. Does send the scan. Some pings are coming through. Here comes NP. Does TP through. They are going to steal it under Icy's nose, so nicely done. They find it, and Icy is crying in the club right now. Probably all of Essence Madness is crying in the club right now, to be honest. The game is in a miserable game state for them. They definitely need to have some kind of wombo combo kill here. Muncie is found. This might be the start of it. They do send the ulti. Muncie sending his back towards it, and way too much damage comes through with the Ags, as well as the procs of the Bristleback. And Kozi's ulti just absolutely destroying Icy. Elegy dying as well because of that Bristleback. But that Bristleback did die, of course. That was a reveal of his Aghanim Scepter. Probably gonna go for the Shard next as well, and that's an absolute boatload of damage comes through with that Bristleback if you do stand in. As you can see, 2,500 damage, and all things considered, they're probably happy about that on Radiant team. You get a little bit of a gold lead back the other way. Serpent Ward committed, not hitting a tower. Icy involved in our kill before they died. I mean, at what cost, really? I mean, you know, Icy's still dying, still nowhere closer to her item. I think the story is definitely going to be on her and how she's going to recover this game. Here's Muncie, does commit that Bristleback. Icy going to start some sucking. It does suck as well on top of Bat Rider, but not going to matter too much because the silence does come out. Does get a chance to use that Flaming Lasso. The stacks are here. They are trying to be claimed by Muncie and Novalau. Kozi on the back line. Doesn't quite have his ulti. Going to see what they do. Does he get the bound? Muncie at half health. This ward is actually in range of this sentry, and they do get the D ward, so trading some ancient creeps for a ward, we take those. Muncie walks forward, not quite sure what he's doing. Elegy can catch, does. Oh, that's a dangerous snowball, my friend, because you're going to be walking forward right behind him. He's probably going to cast Bristleback back at you, but it is on cooldown. Couple of nukes coming through. The Nothra projection is here. Novalau tries to find someone. The Grave is committed onto Elegy, but the Grave absolutely yoinks this Dazzle. Dazzle gets deleted. Elegy gets deleted, but on the backline, Cos does get taken. I'm actually a kind of massive ulti from Ophelia. Can't blink out yet. Does blink. Might still die to that Spirit Vessel. We'll have to see how that goes, but Swift Dash on the back is getting gooed up. That Bristleback is available. Does jump forward to dodge, and Ophelia is going to live. Nicely done from the Radiant team. They Dire team, though, they don't give a fuck. They're hitting that tier 2 tower, getting absolutely destroyed. And I was really worried for a second that this cleave was absolutely destroying all of them, but then I just remembered that for some reason, even though the visual goes through, the damage does not go through the cleave. Novalau, Blink Dagger on the way. Yeah, Blink Dagger's on the way. It's going to be another problem for the Radiant to try and solve. Not too sure what they're going to do about this, because they just have been completely confined into their base. Meanwhile, mid, Ophelia, they do kill Muncie. Apologies, guys, did miss that one. There was the Smash Serpent Ward committed. Icy copying some auto attacks, because he did get quite a long channel off of the shackles, but to no avail. I think it's probably worth killing the Serpent Ward, guys. This is like 300 gold just waiting there. It's basically a whole tower. But they are hitting it right now. Novalau does want to reveal his dagger on the back line. Tusk did commit way too much, and there's almost certainly going to be the death of him. Sorry, was just checking, making sure nothing was going on down there. But yeah, a little bit too deep from Elegy, trying to make something happen. Can't quite make it happen. I gotta get used to these voice lines, guys. As soon as it comes through, my brain just is like, blah. I don't really understand what's going on. Because I haven't heard them before. I haven't heard all of them. That's the first time I heard that unlucky one. That's BM as. Swiftas does have the Battle Fury. Does this a Blink Dagger delivery? Yeah, the Blink Dagger delivery. Actually, all things considered, Swiftas kind of recovering a little bit here. Muncie, with the start he had, I would have actually expected him to be a little bit further ahead, but has been the target of a few ganks so far. And with that, maybe has slowed down a little bit. I think the real person to keep the eye on right now is Scroats. This guy has been farming an absolute storm. Last time I checked on him, he had Mom, but now he's got a whole Ags heading towards that Glipnir. And I said in the draft, I think the fights are just going to be absolutely miserable when he does get to that stage. And he's already halfway there. I think Muncie was just the, just a delay. Oh, they do see him. Missy getting some damage, but they are going to be TPing in with that Scroats, with Shoyu. So much damage coming through. Icy getting deleted. This is the Grave. The Grave comes through. So much damage, actually. Muncie does die, but at what cost? It's going to be the cost of Missy as well as Icy. But the last little punch destroys Novalau. Team Blink comes forward. Ophelia is hexed. Does have the ulti as well. Ophelia is going to get deleted. No follow-up from the team. They are going to try and chase. Of course, Underlord does have over 300 damage right now. Does have so much of that power. Crazy. I know Tusk is very miserable fighting into Underlord because he can't use the Snowball when he's rooted. And that is proven there. Just get absolutely cooked under that Fiend's Pit of Malice, not Fiend's Gate. That's the ultimate. Icy TPing in. Yeah, he needs to be very, very careful. Makes their way out. Nice ward planted by Kozzy here. Seeing a lot. This one as well. Novalau. Shouting out the subs. Doing very, very well here. This ward on bot did see Swiftas. They did just see him walking towards the left, towards these Ancients. And look at the objectives on the map right now. Radiant have all of their tier 1s are gone. But meanwhile, they do find Elegy, the TP in from Shoyu. Scroats is here as well. Scroats showing us how it's done on this Underlord. Being an absolute menace. Does find Missy on the edge. Can't really do too much with her otherwise. Needs to have the team following up. Oh, I tell a lie. Here's the ulti. That shard being shown off here from Muncie as well. And the root does get pushed back straight into that Underlord Pit of Malice, but it's going to be Missy dead here. Ophelia living for now. does make their way out. On the back line, the TP, they do kill Shoyu, but this means they're going to be fighting underneath this Pit of Malice, but they do make their way out somehow. Swithass doesn't have ulti, doesn't have anything, and this is going to be the death of him for sure. Swithass does die. Scroton, meanwhile, does understand that the other team is dead. Novalau can't blink anymore because of that Spirit Vessel. Ophelia jumps in. Novalau is going to die. Does die. Snowballs in, but Icy does make their way out. Almost. But LG does make their way to try and secure that kill. Will cost their life. One last punch on top of Muncie. But Muncie, his APM must be about 400 with the amount of Qs and Ws he's pressing. Doesn't really care too much. Ophelia going to make their way out as well. Seems like mobility is really powerful right now against the dire team. So maybe they want to invest in possibly some BKBs, some 4-staffs, try and make their way out. But the Hex does come through, and they chase Ophelia to the ends of the earth to get that kill. Icy trying to help, hits the silence. Missy on the side, hitting the solar crest, but to no avail.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Oh, snowball in. Yeah, they are going to end up right underneath that tower, right into that Pit of Malice. And this is kind of the problem when it comes to fighting in there. And they get absolutely deleted on LG. The gate, the, what's it called? The Shallow Grave does come through. Icy's dead as well. Missy trying to exist here, but just trapped inside of those trees. And it's looking more and more grim. Who the fuck is this? Flygon727. Hi, stupid, I'm Flygon. Alright, brother.
Radiant's mid.
See you later, buddy.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up. Radiant structures have been fortified. Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
I see. Unban Flygon 727. Bro, I'm just like, man, this guy's just like a fucking weirdo. I'm just gonna ban them. I can't be bothered. Sorry, brother. Yeah, I should have looked up. Apologies. Alright, so in the meantime, while that drama happens, T2 taken in the mid tier 2. Scroats is looking like a menace. Does have his Glipnir on the way right now. Some more nukes coming through. Ophelia saying hit me with the BKB, with the blade mail on, but it's going to be deleted from the face of the earth on Shoyu. It's going to be a free nice kill. Hey Kidnap Van, hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you guys got the W against Mayhem as well, so congratulations. This game's looking like a bit of a massacre in the way of Mayhem's opponents as well. They are looking very powerful. LG needs to be very careful. I think, I'm not even joking, is this the first exorcism that was used this game, guys? I actually don't think I've seen exorcism at all. Scroats on the other side of the map is more than happy to play like this. Just sitting on the other side of the map, doing some nukes. Does have his ulti to come all the way across the map. Does have that Glipnir, of course, even better. It looks like they're going to mount a defense here. We'll see how it goes. Shoyu does TP in. They do find the Dazzle. He's going to get away for sure. That's a long TP. He missed so many auto attacks on the uphill, by the way. That was crazy. Meanwhile, on the bottom... Oh, wait, where'd they find Icy? Over here. They are going to gate back because he does come through. Muncie comes through, and so does Scroats. The boys are back in town. But of course, when they do go through, they do get that invading force buff. 16% damage reduction and 34% movement speed. Shoyu TPing in. And yeah, they definitely do feel strong enough. And it's going to be up to Radiant to see how they're going to mount this defense. Missy does pop that Nothor projection. Trying to get some free defense here, but to no avail because here comes Novalau. Does find the grip, but yeah, that snowball gets absolutely destroyed from that Pit of Malice. LG dead. Missy dead. And if I'm not mistaken, this first set of racks dead. Swiftdass understands he can't do anything here. Trying to farm up something.
Didn't make it.
It's looking miserable. Yeah, I've versed this Underlord when I'm playing Tusk. Exactly the same from Scroats, and kind of the same thing happened to me. This Pit of Malice is really good versus Tusk. Roshan being the next objective here for Devious. They are going to try and get through it. Bristleback does need to be a little bit careful. When his front is turned, he's not as strong as he thinks he is, but there it needs to start stacking up that viscous nasal goo. Actually choosing not to finish it off. I guess they don't want to take the fight right now. If that's fair, Elegy, they do see this ward that's just planted right now from that sentry planted by that Missy. Blade Mail popped. Silence committed. This could be a go condition for the Dire. Silence is very, very important for them. Muncie found here from Missy. Just on the side of that ward, but I'm guessing they don't want to go on him straight away. Overlow on the side is found. Elegy committing that snowball. Needs to be a little bit careful. Scan comes through from Dire. Trying to check if they're doing the Roche, but they know that they're here somewhere because they're not defending bottom, so Devious making a very, very tough decision right now to try and make some moves. But yeah, they see them moving back now on their wards. This one here, seeing the movement from Icy as well as Ophelia. They feel confident. Really nice, clean gameplay here from Devious. They are just showing us how it's done. Elegy trying to push out the lane. Does find his death, or their death rather. He's come through. They do go through to the bottom lane, and they do find Queen of Pain. Might be the death of her. The Silence doesn't quite do enough, but Icy gets absolutely deleted from the face of the planet. Our Telelai guys on the side show you did find Ophelia with that ulti. Muncie did give the vision, or this ward, didn't matter which one. And this game is, I hate to put a stamp on it, but I believe this game is going to be in the books in the favor of Devious. It just was a miserable time from minute 0, unfortunately, and the bot lane looked very, very grim. It's hard to fight when you have these long global heroes. You really need to make sure you win the lanes. You need to play the lanes correctly, at least. Because once these global heroes get off to a good start, you literally cannot play the map at all because they're just so much stronger than you, and they can just show up out of nowhere. So yeah, unfortunately, it's a really tough Tusk game. Elegy doing their best, but it's a tough choice. They're going to try and take one more fight here. It is a great ulti here from Queen of Pain. It does a whole bunch of damage. So with that's coming in with the BKB, they actually do kill Scroats. They do get the Aegis. One more on the side. Nice blood grenade stopping the blink on the side. But they are blinking in. Buybacks do come through. Bristleback is getting sucked down. Does die. Scroats is here. Does pop the double ulti. They're going to be constantly rooted over and over and over. Shoryu's just in here A-clicking. Extremely high level gameplay. On the back, Lamb Supreme does get deleted. And Swiftdass gets deleted as well from Shoryu. Channeling their inner Black Cat, doing so much damage with the A-click on the ground. Literally replacing Q every other time. And Scroats has so much damage here. 219. It's almost certainly going to be all she wrote. Another Pit of Malice comes through. Dazzle can't even make their way out before the second proc does happen. Batrider does absolutely snatch the IC. The Yules does come through. Is living for now. It does die to the last few procs. Underlord dying, and with that, they're going to try and chase Shoryu, but does make nice use of his Hurricane Pike. Icy trying to chase it up as well. Does cut the snowball. Can probably pick up Icy on the way for a little bit more damage, but they don't need it. Another kill does happen, and even though this is a little cherry on top damage for this go, it doesn't really matter because they are unfortunately mega creeps. And it's going to be extremely tough for them to make anything happen on the map with the heroes like Nature's Prophet, with the hero like Underlord, with these Aghanims, Glipnir, and that humongous Pit of Malice. So it's really tough at the moment for Radiant. wouldn't be surprised if their win rate is probably below 5%. It is at 7%, but Gaben believing in Essence Madness a little bit more than me. That being said, Pit of Malice comes through. Icy is found, making their way through. Glipnir comes through. Hex, there is broken. Last little bit of Shackle. Absolutely deleted from the face of this planet. And Icy, there might have been more in the death screen than on the actual map. Unfortunately, this game has been an absolutely miserable Death Prophet game. Joined up there with 14 deaths on Elegy. It's looking really tough for Essence Madness. So you TPing in, no buyback. It's going to have to mount one final little defense here. Muncie cops a little dagger for their troubles. Serpent Ward is committed. The snatch does start with grabbing this Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain is there. Tusk tries to come in to try and save, but it's to no avail because they are constantly put into the Pit of Malice. This Grave is here. Ophelia tries to get out, but they can't quite get out. The Snowball comes through. One last nuke. That is gonna be Cozzy getting deleted. Meanwhile, Muncie actually did get killed by Swift-Ass, so not all things are over yet. The buyback is committed from Queen of Pain. They are going to try and chase Nova Lau here. Does find, accidentally misses the Q, does have her Ags now on Queen of Pain. Meanwhile, in mid, they're trying to kill this ward, and Missy did die to some creeps as well as the ward there, so Swift-Ass trying to do their best. I really do feel like if bottom lane match the power of top lane, or if top lane was just as like farm for farm as bottom lane, I really think Essence Madness might have had a bit of a better chance this game. But with top lane going so miserably, there's just no playmakers at all for Radiant. It's basically on the Tusk, and as we've already said, Tusk has a miserable time in this game. The rest, all their heroes are so good versus Tusk, so it's pretty tough. And this Scroats guy on this Underlord, looking very powerful. Has the AC delivered. Did get that Glipnir a little while ago. Taking a look at their talents, of course, there is this incredibly annoying talent. Pit of Malice slows by 25%, as well as this 10% atrophy attack damage gain and reduction. So that one a little bit less useful against the Radiant team, considering that, you know, Ursa does have the Fury swipes. Queen's not really attacking too much, but see how they go here. Quick shout out to the Dire supports, of course, because a lot of their wards have been enabling this gameplay. Cozzy and Nova Lau, this duo, so much lockdown between the two of them, kind of miserable to fight in the lane as well. They do try and find Elegy. They do actually catch it with the Yules. A little bit of a knockback. Elegy does spend the Ice Shards. Ophelia a little bit stuck, making their way back. They are back here, and this is going to be the last 5-on-5 little defense. All things considered, Swift-Ass has shown that he is capable of dealing enough damage to deal with a lot of these cores, but the problem just is that, you know, you're already fully megged. It's looking miserable. This whole time, of course, the net worth lead does get bigger and bigger. Show you farming across the map because they can. He can just farm anywhere. Muncie trying to get something started, but not quite. And Scroats, of course, on the other side of the map can farm as well. So that net worth rate for every single few seconds that, few minutes that pass, that net worth lead does get bigger and bigger. Muncie copying another dagger. Let's have that Bloodstone. This was nerfed, right, guys? They nerfed this on Bristle, right? So it doesn't block, it doesn't have triggered damage or something? Yeah, just one more Roche and they can go high ground. Smoke grenade is popped from Nova Lau. But they're gonna try and look for a snatch. They do find one here. The snowball does come. The reaction's a little bit late, but Elegy, it's looking like a miserable fight already. There is Missy is already dead. Elegy already dead. On the back line, Ursa is silenced. The root right on the edge. Yeah, gets a little bit fucky when it gets to this edge here. The ulti does happen, as well as the Yules, but not to no avail because the Hex does come through. Doesn't get a chance to even start any sucks. So with that, there's no buybacks at all, and that's probably going to do it. Swiftdash does jump in. Show you getting 4 stuff everywhere. Literally just being sent from corner to corner. He's A-clicking now. They do actually end up killing him. Show you does die, but that is going to be all she wrote for game 1. Devious taking it with honestly a very straightforward kind of game. The bottom lane was kind of just a farm fest for the Dire team, but once the Bat Rider was freed up from top, it could come bot as well as with the NP. They end up turning this 4v2 lane, and it just becomes so miserable for them to play in that lane, honestly. But Scroats, as usual on his Underlord, doing a really nice job. This hero, when he does get to this point, when he does have Ags and Glipnir, is just so miserable to fight into. Even if you have BKB, even if you BKB the first route, like, by the time you fight out of that, it's just so horrible to fight into. Definitely need to be playing a little bit more for the lanes, I think, for Essence Madness, so we'll see. The Dazzle as well, I wasn't really feeling the Dazzle impact. Usually you feel like Dazzle has so much power. Yeah, I honestly, I agree with you, Kidnap Van. I don't know why there's no full draft here. Yeah, I felt like the Dazzle, of course, like normally you feel like the Dazzle is just keeping their heroes alive by so much. If they had, like, the amount of heal they give is just unbeatable. But against heroes like Bristle, they don't really care, right? Like, you can heal as much as you want. Eventually my stacks of Bristle of the Quill Spray is going to go up so much that they're just going to get absolutely deleted. So big shout out to Ophelia. I think Ophelia did the best that she could given the circumstances, and unfortunately did turn into a bit of a miserable Tusk game. I think they need to move these support picks a little bit later in the draft, or they need to pick something that's a little bit generically good, generically quote unquote good, like Undying, for example. You know, some easy to execute stuff like Warlock, maybe some Witch Doctor. Tusk is tough to just like pick and just expect that it's going to work, so we'll see how they go there. But looks like a stunning game too. See how it goes here for G2. I mean, Axe LC bans was crazy, right? You're not wrong about that, Sean. I kind of forgot about that. They also have like a drafter with them, right? They have someone helping them, so I'm surprised. I don't think I think even if Earth Spirit is open, I don't think they're gonna pick it, right? Because LG's playing support. Maybe it was accidental. Maybe they meant to ban Leader and they accidentally write Legion. What happens when you type in LE? I've made this mistake before. No, it definitely goes straight to Legion, Commando.
Whatever they brought, it won't be enough.
Alright guys, I tried to give them benefit of the doubt, but it is what it is. Shrek. Why does EL bring up Kez? Why does EL bring up Sniper? Cardell. Ah, Cardell, yeah.
My sword, my beak, and myself. 3 sharpest things in this forest.
I don't think Kez has a hero title.
Lively now. Your admiral is on board.
As blah 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 blah. Queen Imperia. Yeah, I don't know. Cardell obviously makes sense. Right, Cardell Sharpwire. That was from Dota 1. I'm sure there's a better way to do this, guys, but... Help. Kestrel? What the fuck?
Who we fighting?
How did you know that?
Those guys?
Did you Google it? His full name? That's crazy. That GPT, nice. You can cut down one tree to find out Kez's full name. I mean, it's probably not one tree. It's probably like a branch. Okay. Okay, so 1 square inch, 1 square centimeter of the Amazon rainforest. 90s, yeah, bro. Okay, I was like 20 MMR from 6K, and then look at this. Look what happened. This is sorted by rank change, but they blah blah blah. I wish I could do where rank changes greater than this. Yeah, but then this happened. There was some problems that happened, as you can see. Minus 40, minus 39, minus 40, minus 38. Am I gonna cast to the grand final? I wanted to, but Igor got to it first, so I think Igor's gonna cast it. I did ask to cast with him.
5 seconds.
He did say yes, but we'll see.
Dyer's ban.
We'll see, we'll see.
10 seconds to go. 5 seconds.
Alright, so lads and ladies, we are here once again. Oh shit, what happened? Alright, sorry. My keyboard disconnected. That was me, that wasn't you. Yeah, we're here in game number 2 between these two titans of the intermediate division. Of course, Mayhem does have 2 stand-ins. They do have Lamb Supreme, who is Missy, and they do have Swiftass, who is Swiftass. Meanwhile, on the other side, Devious, they do have their usual squad. They do have about 17 stand-ins, which I respect. But this is their usual 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Radiant's ban.
Took a little bit to get there, but the first ban is going to be that Dawnbreaker.
Dyer's ban.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Devious, they are still going to go with that Earth Spirit as well as the Lena bans. Respect that. Mayhem, of course, here last time, they did ban Axe, which they are choosing to, again, not 100% on board with that one. But we'll see where they go from here. Devious, they did ban Lich as well as... they had another support, if I'm not mistaken, banned here.
10 seconds to go.
Not sure on this one. I was they actually banned Shadow Shaman this time. It was something else last game, but we'll see where it goes from here. Okay, and this was the where it got a little bit weird here for Mayhem. They did ban LC. That's the same as this ban here last game. I don't think they need to do that. But who knows, maybe the coach is cooking up something.
Dyer's pick.
This time they actually banned Underlord, which I respect. Was miserable. And Mayhem, they do a little yoinkies of that Nature's Prophet. So the draft is going to be completely different. Of course, but here comes that Bat Rider. This Bat Rider, by the way, for Devious has crazy flex because Shou can play it, Nova Lau can play it, and so can Scroats. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this can just kind of slot into any kind of draft that they're happy to play,
10 seconds to go.
no matter what.
5 seconds.
Going to the next ban phase. Mayhem did have some problems with a couple of the heroes, but it looks like a lot of them have actually been taken out of the draft already. Nature's Prophet's on their side of the draft screen, which is great. Underlord is already banned as well. Puck, which was their ban from last time, is banned, and I believe their last ban last time was Ember Spirit in this draft phase. So we'll see if they're going to do that as well. Meanwhile, Devious, I believe their 5th ban was... I'm not sure. Honestly, can't remember.
10 seconds to go.
We'll see where they go from here, though. But there is Queen of Pain still available in the pool. There's some Undying. There's some Dazzle in the pool, which I wouldn't be surprised if Mayhem go back to. I think that's one of Missy's more favorite heroes. Guess they're probably deliberating. Do they ban Queen or do they ban Ember here, considering they got to give Devious one of them. And they do have the first pick out of this ban phase. It's one part of it. Nature's Prophet, of course, does have some flex potential, but I do believe this is going to be the safe laner playing this Nature's Prophet. But I might be wrong. I know that Ophelia does play it. I'm not sure if Swithat does play it as a POS 1. But they do ban the LC again, guys. What the hell? I'm really perplexed by this. Maybe we can find out later on. But they do absolutely snatch up that Ember Spirit. This is going to be Shou playing Ember Spirit for sure.
10 seconds to go.
One of his better heroes. Maybe his best. Either that or Kez, I would say. But Kez, or should I say Kestrel, not available in the draft captain's mode at the moment. Going to be a big power up for Devious actually when Kez is available to be drafted. Two picks coming in from Mayhem. Obviously last time they went for Tusk Dazzle in this phase, but I think it's probably pretty safe to just go for Queen plus 1 up. But looks like I'm gonna go for the Void Spirit instead. Fair enough. Void Spirit, of course, when it does have the Ags, is quite nice. Can get onto the backlines as well and a lot of the subs. When it does get to that 3rd, 4th item, it is actually kind of extremely powerful because that intrinsic edge innate does give him a lot of extra bonuses when he does get to that 3rd or 4th item. Kind of gives him like a whole another item worth of stats when he does have those 4 items. So it's kind of cool. Let's see where they go with here. They're actually going for Spirit Breaker, so nice swap out here with the SB. Looks like they would really want to have a bit more global strategy, of course, starting with this NP, but starting with they have the SB. That's one part of it. Who won? Devious won. Very handedly, I would say. It was a very straightforward win for them.
5 seconds.
But the line does come through. Last pick here for Devious for this part of the draft phase. Just now cutting into their reserve time. Spirit Breaker is a bit of a menace. They probably are thinking maybe if they want to... They're probably deciding with this pick what they want to do with the Bat Rider, I would guess. Because, of course, they do still have some flex between Scroats as well as Nova Lau. So if there's a support that they want to pick, that might be good. But instead they're going down the angle of the Slardar, which I was very happy to... Which I'm actually very happy to see. The Slardar on Scroats is one of his... Maybe his best hero. Maybe second best to Bristleback. Always very cool to see him. And the Queen of Pain does come through as well. So it's going to probably be a POS 1 Queen of Pain. Maybe a support NP and a mid Void Spirit, I would say. It's a possibility. Queen of Pain, very powerful hero, by the way. Like, I think super good hero. So we'll see where we go from here. Let's jump into the...
5 seconds.
Could be POS 1 NP, yeah. But then I'm not sure what they do with Void Spirit. Not sure. I know LG plays Void Spirit, so maybe they're like... Maybe that's their 3 cores already. With offlane NP. I'm not sure. But bans are going to come through. They are running out of time. They do have to ban something. Only a few seconds left here. They actually miss a ban. Insane. What is going on with the Mayhem team right now? It's really tough to miss a ban like that. Not to mention, basically they've missed two because for some reason they banned LC.
10 seconds to go.
Is now onto Devious for their bans. It's tough to ban here considering there's so much flexibility in the Mayhem draft. Looking to ban that silencer, which I respect. Kind of an annoying hero to just fight into. By the way, I want to say Undying completely untouched from both teams, both games. Surprising to me.
10 seconds to go.
I guess another possible ban they could go for is Dazzle, considering
5 seconds.
that is one of Missy's favorite heroes. Should they go for?
Player's pick.
This time they ban the Dusar. I wish we could get a little listen in on the comms on the Mayhem side. Well, I wish I could like hear what they're thinking, because I'm really confused overall with the Mayhem, whatever's going on with Mayhem. So
10
see how it
seconds
goes.
to go. 5 seconds.
Last pick here, by the way, they have no reserve time, so they were about to random, and looks like they decided to go down the Pugna angle. Pugna, I mean, I can sort of see it for sure. That's kind of solved their pushing issue as well. But this is one of those heroes
10
that
seconds to go.
this is one of those heroes that
5 seconds.
you kind of got to be like not switched on, but like you kind of got to be a bit of a specialist for Pugna, and I'm not sure if Mayhem have a specialist Pugna player. Devious with the last pick of the draft here. Probably going to be picking Muncie's hero. I imagine this is probably going to be a full Batrider again. Lion pos 5, Amber Spirit in mid, with Slider playing pos 3. Wouldn't be surprised if they go down the Bristle angle again. Maybe Shadow Fiend, actually. They get a lot of minus armor. I don't think Pugna really puts a question mark in their plans if there is Shadow Fiend. The only real problem is if Spirit Breaker comes off to a good draft, comes up with a good game, they get a lot of setup with NP, SB, +1 on top of the SF. It depends how they're feeling about that. I think SF could work if they're feeling very confident about it. Maybe, honestly, I feel like something like Terrorblade looks really good here as well. Your only silence is going to be from Void Spirit when they do get the Ags, but at that point you're going to have like 2200 HP. It's going to be tough for you to get bursted down. Lots of good picks actually for Devious here, to be honest. Yeah, this draft is like very strange. They go down the PL angle. Interesting.
Who's it gonna be?
Yeah, I mean, PL's also fine. It's going to be a pos
5 seconds.
3 Queen, pos 2 Void Spirit. With the rewards of Ruin facets. Not sure I agree with that one either, Missy, but you do you. I actually think if Elegy gets like a decent game, same with Swift Ass, it's kind of miserable for Devious, no? They can't show on the lane at all. Except with Shoyu. They don't have any saves. The only thing is PL, right? But PL, the charge is continued on the person when they press doppelgang. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. But here we are, guys, getting into game number 2 of 2. This is only a best of 2. I should have updated the stream information. Devious R10 up. It's updated. Let me do one of these bad boys while we do this. Bang, 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 bang. I'm a streamer, guys. Let's go. Predictions are open. Let's go. Alright, so I am a little bit confused with this facet choice personally. I know people are taking Call of the Void more, but I don't know, almost a little bit confused with this. I don't know, guys. I hate to be that dude. But we'll see how it plans out. Maybe they have some ideas. Swift Ass? AFK? Let's get deleted off the face of the planet. And that is First Blood. Going to Muncie. Happy to see that. He's going to get even closer to that first item, probably Band of Elven Skin straight away. Cheeky little ward here from the Ember Spirit. Silver tier Pugna, respect. Swift Ass reading his settings. They are coming in a little bit here. Nice pushback. But they actually do secure at Muncie. This might be the death of him. Looks like it will. The deny isn't there. Shoyu is also in kind of a little bit of a grim position. They should probably just turn here on Shoyu. They're choosing not to, but they turn around and get the kill on Ophelia. It is going to be 2 for 2, but First Blood, of course, going towards Muncie on top of Swift Ass. Not a bad little fight there on the bottom lane. Of course, SB, I think, is the highest effective HP hero at level 1. Guys, insane value bet for Mayhem, by the way. If you put in 10 points, you get so much points in return. Just putting it out there. We'll see how the bottom lane goes, though. I think I see here playing pos 3. Queen should be a little bit better. I mean, Elegy, the problem though here at bottom lane is once Sticky Napalm comes into effect, it's going to be miserable. Definitely want to see some sticks out on this bottom lane for sure. Sticks out for the bottom lane. Sticks out for the bottom lane. Fuzzy needs to be a little bit careful here, copying way more harass than he actually gave back. It's kind of the problem when you're fighting into Nature's Prophet, because of course you are trading usually in negative way, because Sprout does give you so much healing. But like, can you believe this used to be like 50 heal per second or 40 heal per second? Now it's only 20, 25 or whatever. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Elegy, yeah, what I was a bit worried about is happening, and that is when you do get those levels of Sticky Napalm, it does become miserable. Muncie coming forward, using that next version of Spirit Lance to secure the kill, and Elegy just trying to pull up a little bit on top of Novalau, but Novalau is going to be losing for the first few hits, but as soon as he gets 2 or 3 stacks of Sticky Napalm, it's going to be miserable. It's definitely not how you want to play the lane here. You don't want to be playing with your subs, with your core a little bit to trade hits. Make sure that they get the dagger on top as well whenever they're trying to trade with Novalau. Probably how you want to play the lane. Also to be level 2, but that's okay. Pugna this time, Missy is playing pos 5. Fuzzy made their way back up to a decent amount of health. Stun does miss. Respect aura farming. Looking at the CS, looks like Ophelia also doing very, very nicely. Copying a bit of damage, but just trading hits here with Shoyu. Shoyu doing great as well. It was almost always going to win that because of the Orb of Blight, right? Going to be losing minus armor. Elegy trying to front up a little bit, but again, copying some damage. The sticks are out for the boys at bottom lane. Muncie in a bit of a heated position. Does need to bash out. Almost makes it. But he's going to have to walk out as well. But it does go to Novalau. Novalau is actually probably dead here, right? Because Elegy, they can probably front up a little bit here on Muncie. I tell a lie. Nice bit of damage there from Muncie. Doing so much damage with that Spirit Lance level 2. Cheeky 140 damage. By the way, guys, a little bit of insight. I've never played Phantom Lancer ever. Comes to TPs into mid. You find Shoyu. Let's get the uphill mass. Mass? Miss. But Swift Ass does contribute here. Swift Ass is back. Kozzy's here. Does cop a little bit of damage. Needs to keep running. Oh, they do actually put him under, and this is going to be the death of Kozzy. Doesn't have a way to get out. Hits the nuke. Oh, wow. Huge amount of healing. The last auto attack. Nicely done. It's going to be a stick fully used, as well as that Lotus. Bottom lane, Novalau. Trying to harass. Elegy needs to be a little bit careful. Does get the charge. Does accidentally cancel it with the auto attack. Elegy is in danger here. Let's get the knockback. A couple more auto attacks. Yeah, this is probably going to be the death of Elegy here for sure. It's kind of the problem when you try and go on Batrider. The hero is just like punishes you for not fully committing. You need to fully commit. Fully commit or don't commit at all. Kozzy, a little bit of stun and suck. Classic little combo. Look at the CS guys. Scroat's doing such a good job here in the top lane. Shoyu also doing such a good job in the mid lane. Muncie and Icy trading quite a bit, but of course there has been some kills there. Ophelia, this is also a little bit of a problem because whenever you press your Resonant Pulse, you don't get that shield, so the trading is also even worse for you. But look, she knows better than me when it comes to Void Spirit because I suck at this hero, so I'll leave it to her. Or the Call of the Void. I imagine the Call of the Void when it comes to team fights is also really miserable. We saw this move from last game, by the way, where Novalau came in, made a move to the top lane, tries to get a kill, and they definitely are doing it again. A little bit of a knockback. Swiftdas is getting put under. Kozzy's here as well. Does get put into the ethereal form. Elegy's here as well. Stun under the tower. Novalau needs to be careful as well. Nice bash here from Scroats. Does hit the stun. That stun's going to do even more damage to him, and this move not quite working out. Swiftdas does move forward. Tries to find someone, but Novalau is here. They is going to have a charge in 6 seconds if they do want to commit, but there's no TP to help. Swiftdas does make their way out with that maneuver, and nicely done. They do punish them. Ophelia with a 6-minute rune, I believe, was taken by Shoyu, but looks like they're going in again here. Koz is found. They need to get a stun with this hit. Doesn't quite get it. Scroats is around. Missy trying to make some moves happen, but does have almost Z mana. They do see Elegy here on the side, and Ember Spirit does have that illusion rune available if need be. Popping a bit of damage from Ophelia. We'll always have that bottle. I'm not sure if this... How does this work? Can you dispel this thing? This debuff that it puts on you? So that puts a debuff on you. Can you dispel that if you use Illusion Rune? Ophelia under the tower. Maybe one of the mid pros. Oh, they're in. Show you. Needs to be careful. Maybe one of the mid pros can tell me about that. Meanwhile, top lane. Meanwhile, bottom lane, guys. Sorry. Muncie killing Icy. Getting another XP rune here, and he actually TP'd back all the way home. Novalau does chase Elegy to the ends of the earth and does kill him. It's gonna be another 2 XP set, 2 XP shrines on the way of the Radiant. Jesus, sorry guys, my getting distracted by something going on outside. I can see through my window. Alright, I'm locking in. Here comes Shoyu. Does come in, hits the root. Swiftdas with the stun. Gonna be the death of Swiftdas here. That Slithering Crush securing it. The ward. On level 1. Kozzy tries to get charge from Elegy, but Elegy, of course, she cannot charge through because it will be the death of her. Muncie having yet another wonderful game, by the way. Mid lane, Ophelia. Trading hits a bit with Shoyu here. The charge is coming through, but of course there is Nova Lao chilling here as well. The charge is cancelled, and this is a little bit of a problem that we're seeing with the Spirit Breaker. The SB wants to do something, but there's no one to play with at the moment. They don't have enough damage. This Pugna doesn't give them like a stun to set up with. None of that, but the scan does come through. They do see that does hit on top of Kozzy. Kozzy is being scattered by these creeps. It does jump forward from Ophelia. Absolutely destroyed Kozzy here. Does have one more step if they do choose to, but chooses not to. And meanwhile, Elegy gonna make their way to get to some XP that they very highly need. Icy does commit that Ice Sonic Wave to push back the Nova Lao, but Muncie is a little bit stuck, but does have that Quelling Blade to make their way through. Ophelia jumps forward. The charge is there, and guys, look, this doppelgang, it will, even if he doppelgangs, it will continue on the real one. There it is. Does get deleted. The charge is swapping, although Nova Lao is here. Shoyu is here as well. Shoyu does need to be a little bit careful. Only has one remnant, no other way to get out. The Hex does come through. Nova Lao does kill Icy. Shoyu does kill Swiftdash. Shoyu, of course, does have that huge shield on the back line. On the top lane, Scroats did kill Missy. Did have that huge shield rune as well as that Flame Guard to have a crazy shield. And I believe they probably did almost all of Shoyu's health to him, but it didn't matter because he just had the massive amount of shield. So 10-minute rune is going to be the next objective here for Ophelia. We'll have to see what they want to do. They'll push out the lane a bit, and they'll have to gamble because Shoyu's already here. Did gamble and did win the gamble. So Ophelia does have that bottled arcane rune now. A little easy in the all chat. Love to see it. Swiftdash is level 6 now, on their way towards that Maelstrom. Bottom lane, Elegy is being chased. The one last auto attack, the dot is going to do enough, and Kozzy and Nova Lao are under the tower, flexing their power in this game. Getting kills, and Elegy having a miserable game yet again. Not getting that 7-minute XP rune was really tough for them. Kozzy does have the Finger of Death, by the way. Hits the Hex. But the stun could have been a double stun, not quite. But the ulti does come through. Kozzy in an interesting little spot here. Does commit the ulti. Probably didn't need to. Muncie is charged, by the way. The ulti comes through. They do kill him. Ophelia does have the step. Doesn't quite have a step, apologies. 7 seconds. They are one more hypnotized coming through. Ophelia still alive. Does have that dissimulate in a moment. Hits it. As well as the Astral Resonant Pulse. Has one more step if she chooses to. Is going to, because the heal does come through as well. And the Hypnotize. Guys, just like that, Shoyu. I was saying just like that, Shoyu was dead, but guys, Shoyu is a little bit too much of a bit of a gamer. Hex comes through from Kozzy. There is no ulti, so he's going to be surviving on Ophelia. This is a Arcane Rune still available. They are still under the tower. Shoyu's still alive somehow. Kozzy trying to find something. Ophelia does have Dissimulate. Sends it. Trying to get some damage. One auto attack. Does find the kill. At what cost though? Ophelia still going to die. Does die, but still a great little play there for Mayhem. Does find a whole bunch of kills, 3 of them, maybe 4 of them if I'm not mistaken, because I believe they killed Kozzy twice, and nice 2k gold swing for them. Meanwhile though, Scroats this whole time has been farming, does have his Blink Dagger delivered if I'm not mistaken, does, and is heading towards that Aghanim Scepter.
Never refuse gold given.
I believe Scroats is going to be looking to get involved from now on with that Blink Dagger. This is just a Scroats classic, isn't it? He just plays in the off lane, make sure he gets his item, and then can play from there. And this is kind of the dangers of playing in the opponent's safe lane, right? You're playing in the opponent's safe lane this whole time, but if you don't get enough done, not to say that Mayhem didn't, right? Obviously what they did was really great at bottom. Elegy is found here. It's almost impossible. You literally can't charge because as soon as you charge, the Flame Break's going to come through. Elegy, this is the blink reveal of course, and Elegy does get deleted. Show you yoinking that one with the Slider Fist.
Not quite as slow now. Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
Ophelia with the haste, securing the tower.
Radiant's top tower's taking hits.
Smoke grenade committed. Might have been seen actually from this range creep. I think it was still walking. We'll see how they react. Ophelia going straight for Ags. I respect that. Muncie getting the solo on bottom. Solo creep. Solo tower. So they're going to find Swiftdass here. Teleporting out. Is going to make it out for sure. Doesn't quite break the smoke. But nicely done. The charge did come through, by the way, on that PL. But I believe he did just cop it and continue on with his day. Muncie heading toward that Diffu now that it has Yasha. A smoke grenade, the last remnants of it. They are going to find Ophelia, I believe. They do. Prime stun. And that is going to be the lasso committed as well. Bottom lane, Muncie charged, dodged with Doppelganger. Some movement happening. Slider gonna try and find. Slider blinks forward, does hit the stun. That's just enough mana only for the amp damage, and Elegy is hanging here as well. They do see her. They do charge out, and with those movements, yeah, sure, they killed Ophelia, and yeah, they killed Icy, but this whole time, by the way, Swiftdass was farming. Just makes their way now to the top lane. Swiftdass did need some time to catch back up, and this is going to be the time that he needs.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
We'll see how Novalau wants to take this. Does maybe spot Lamb Supreme here. Is spotted. A little bit of a knockback. Doesn't quite have the Bat Rider yet, but lasso yet, but Novalau is taken here. So if that does come in, does get involved in a kill, and by the way, this whole time, a little bit of suck action. Missy doing a great job, but Kozzy trying to tie it up a little bit because Elegy does get fingered to death. Ophelia trying to make something happen, does find Kozzy. The ulti from Icy not quite hitting, unfortunately. She doesn't know that, but the Hex is here. Scroats needs to be a little bit careful. Icy chilling here, does hit the stun on the backline. However, Muncie is here trying to do a little bit of suck, but to no avail. Icy dying. More suck happening here. Scroats getting absolutely not caring at all. Absolutely deleting them. Muncie is here, just A-clicking, nuking. Is going to maybe get out alive. Is going to for sure. Muncie doing a great job, and this is probably going to be another hero sent into the meat grinder. Muncie doing a great job. A-clicking, extremely high level gameplay.
Whoa, Princess. Careful, gank.
Yeah, I think this game looks closer a little bit in the first few minutes, but it's just going a little bit to the dogs right now. Hello, Miss Sunday.
Dyer's mid tower could use a little help.
Lenny's tummy. Maybe you can actually explain what these mean. Show you charged. Let's get the Hex. Are you an explainer of these suffixes? Oh, sorry guys. I was a little bit more interested in the suffixes because I didn't know what they quite mean. Because there's Lenny's tummy. We didn't really understand this. Bottom lane, I see. It's gonna be found. Doesn't have a blink for 4 seconds. I don't think that it really cares. A really unfortunate break, by the way, from the creep. Means that he couldn't get the last stack for the Bash of the Deep. Probably is gonna chase. It's really unfortunate. I won't do interviews. It's only group stage, so. Some suck. Novalau. Gonna be dying.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
Lamb Supreme. Trying to siege the tower a little bit. That's one aspect we haven't really seen at all, by the way. We haven't really seen any kind of sieging with this Nether Blast. Hasn't really had an opportunity to do such a thing. Interesting ward. That's a cool one. But isn't this in range of this? Maybe not. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's only slightly different to the one that I played, but that's interesting. A little bit more suck happening on the bottom lane. Pugna, they do find Scroats, and that is going to be the death of Scroats with us as well, contributing from across the map with that ulti. The wood situation right now is looking really nice for the Dire team. They do find the Ember Spirit. Void Spirit does pop that AD rune. Siege is starting to begin on the bottom lane, but we'll see how it goes. Novalau, of course, with the Blink Dagger already online. Quick item check, guys, while we wait. This one, not that one. Blink Daggers are plenty for the Radiant team. On Slardar line and Batrider. Meanwhile, PL is going to be heading towards that Manta, but meanwhile, there's going to be a fight at the bottom lane. Let's take a quick look. There is going to be absolute deletion of this Kozi ulti, but he's sent off the face of the planet because LG gets deleted, Ophelia gets deleted, Shoyu just deleting everyone. Doing so much damage there with that amp damage from Slardar, and 2 more sent to the graveyard for Essence Mayhem. I believe this is, yeah, this is going to be heading towards that Bloodthorn. Oh, the silence is here. Monty doing way too much damage. It's going to be the death of them there on Lamb Supreme. I'm actually more of a Chicken Supreme kind of guy. What do you guys think? Lamb, chicken, or beef? Taj comes through for Kozi. He's going to hit the stun. Actually gets handled, but the Hex is a little bit, I mean, the ulti is a little bit late because he can't blink away, but Muncie, I think, is very happy to see this. The silence does come through. Icy needs to be very careful. LG does hit the stun, but not going to matter too much because Swithas is going to clean it up. LG still alive. Muncie is put away, but Muncie might actually die here. He is going to die. All of the creeps are dead. Shoyu's here. Does pop the Blade Mail. Not that useful right now because no spells are going onto him. Does actually get a couple of auto attacks. Doesn't have an ulti to make their way out. And just like that, guys, a little bit of a throw you happening. Shoyu feeding almost 1,000 gold towards the Essence Mayhem team. Quite the big swing. And when we look at the gold, it's actually mostly the difference is on Swiftas. Ophelia, of course, is quite slightly ahead of Topu Shoyu, and Icy, who's the opponent of Scroats, is going to be the other difference. But yeah, it's only a 1k gold diff right now. See where they go from here. 21-minute XP rune is here, actually taken by Novalau. The other one at bottom is still here. They do need to make sure they get this one. He did miss a 7-1, the 7-minute XP. I wasn't too sure in the 14, but of course there is the innate from Spirit Breaker, which means anybody whose team basically gives 50% extra to the lowest person. This is written really weird. The hero on your team whose level is lower than anybody else's on your team gains 50. Nah, I guess it's written perfectly. Top lane, Muncie, they are hitting this Tormentor. This is going to be a shard. This one's going to Novalau. Batrider shard, of course, is that not only has a stack limit, and then whenever you press Sticky Napalm, it now does some damage to structures. This is really, really nice with his, was it the Ags that makes it so when you auto attack it puts a thing on it? Or is that the other facet? I can't remember how it all works together, but
The Radiant lost the top tower. Dire's mid tower won't last much.
top lane, Swiftas does get deleted from the face of the planet. Just Muncie, just a Muncie problem, really.
Couldn't hang on to the tower. Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
These illusions doing so much work.
Structures right now.
I've decided to stand, guys. My ass was hurting.
Structures like this. The Dire might want to mine the top tower. Tower. Dire's top tower. You know Dire's got one last top tower.
All right. Meanwhile, Damer getting found, does get deleted. Muncie is going to just look for the easy pickings. That is going to be Lamb Supreme. TP comes out from Elegy. That's going to make it through for sure. Icy, meanwhile, on the bottom lane, does get killed. This was with the help of just Kozi, it looks like. The help of that Finger of Death. Ophelia is here as well. Elegy chilling. Heading towards that, does have the drum, does have the phase boots, heading towards that Lotus Orb. Lotus Orb pretty decent, I would say. Scroats, I believe probably has BKB on the way right now. So if he has a Yasha queued up. Maybe going for SMI. Icy breaks the smoke, sends the ulti, but unfortunately didn't have the blink available, and that's going to be the death of her. Muncie took actually a boatload of damage. LG is charging. They are going to actually hit the Lion here. Lion does get deleted. They're going for the easy pickings, but I think Muncie might be the most important one to kill. Muncie is going to be shown here. Nice little cheeky little APM here from Muncie, and Squirts does jump in, gets the save. They are finding him. The ulti, the Ags does come through, but his silencer return. Muncie trying to run away, but Ophelia isn't going to make too much of a difference because it's the last bit of damage. I Tell a Lie makes their way through, does send the healing from Lamb Supreme. No, Villau trying to do something, but to no avail. Doesn't have that blink dagger available. Muncie was on the cusp of death there. Used this little tree here to break line of sight a few times, stopping the ulti from Nether Strike. So nicely done from them. This is a problem that Shard solves, by the way. I'm a big Shard enjoyer on Nature's Prophet. But that DD rune, Scroats calls for the Roshan. Novalau is in the area as well, scouting out the Pugna. Pugna pops down the ward, and a D-ward in response. They are moving to the other side, so this is definitely going to get to the other side, I believe, on Roshan. They do see it. A little bit of a suck from Novalau. Oh yeah, and that's not going to help you that much because Jesus Christ, there's so much damage. The Orchid, actually, so much damage coming through as well. Oh, really unfortunate from Icy, but I Tell a Lie, that does just get through a little bit of damage. Swift is standing and delivering, literally just A-clicking, is stunned right now. Scroats does come through with a little bit of damage as well. Swift does have the Mjolnir, is A-clicking, does get absolutely deleted from that Finger of Death, turned inside out. Absolutely insane. Shoyu doesn't have a single Fire Remnant available. I believe there's going to be another little Throw You available here. Does get deleted. Nice little Ether Remnant getting that kill. And for the first time, I believe, for a moment there, the gold was in favor of Mayhem.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
For this whole series, the gold was in favor of Mayhem. By the way, guys, don't forget, that's with Missy just dying for free here without even putting out a reward. I think this Ags, by the way, is doing insane amount of work. Manta coming through as well. That's going to help with us, those Orchids that are coming. This can also confuse the Batrider when Batrider tries to go. Elegy now heading towards, getting very close to that that ulti. Charge comes through, does hit Batrider, so they know someone's charged. There's the creeps, but the Hex does come through. He's gonna live. She's gonna live, sorry, because of her ults. But Kozzy trying to make something happen. This is the Orchid. There is no Manta available right now. Needs to be very careful. A little bit of a grab, and we saw the Throw You, but now we see the Throwphilia in response. Pugna getting that siege on. We haven't seen this too much, and Missy doing a nice job sieging this tower at the bottom lane. NP making their way to bottom lane. It's very close to that BKB. Does have the Daedalus queued up afterwards, then going for the Aghanim Shard. Not 100%. I think she might need he might need a dispel as well. Personal dispel, maybe, but it's tough to get one, right? I mean, BKB technically does dispel. Aegis does go towards the way of Muncie, heading towards that heart now, and that heart's going to make him really, really powerful. Maybe even more tough for her to die. Muncie, this is the real one in mid. Kizzy committing that Glimmer Cape to try and get away. Kizzy? Missy. BKB is on the way right now, is committing to it. Top lane, Elegy, trying to make some space, just trying to farm up towards this Lotus Orb, keeping away. Bottom lane, Shoyu, Kaya and Sanj and the Blade Mail. Let's have that regen bottled. Because he is charged right now. Under the tower. They are going to see the charge from this Observer ward. Not unless they cancel it first. And this ward is here as well, planted by Novalau. They do see this Pugna on the top lane. The Glimmer Cape is not going to save you, especially if you've been amplified. Your damage has been amplified on you. They need to make sure they're getting rid of these wards. Patch comes through. Nicely done. I think they can just play the sides of the map, which Icy understands. Just being an absolute menace. Needs to be very careful here on Icy. Can't run into the enemy team because she is going to be deleted. Fine. BKB is committed from Icy. Doesn't have enough damage to ulti. Actually didn't have enough damage to ulti. Unfortunate. I think she actually kills if she sends the ulti there. Somehow this game, but either way guys, it's been absolute slobber knocking. You can see by the graph here. It's going down, but it's only 66% win rate for Devious. I think they understand the PL power when it gets to this point, and Heart is on the way. He's only about 1400 gold away. The ward comes through, getting rid of that very important ward, but this one in the lane, this one's also a real menace placed by Kozzy. Bottom lane, Scroats and Koz, they're going to find someone. They want to find someone, at least with the help of Muncie, but LG understanding that they do need to make their way out, and with that 30 minutes, that is going to be the haste rune spawning on top. It's going to be heading to daytime, and that means that the Tormentor is going to be up at top very shortly because it was taken earlier from the Radiant team. So see where they want to go from here. The tower is given up. TP out here from Slider. Did actually turn that Yasha into a SNY, choosing not to go for BKB. Let's have the shard available. Blinks forward. Scroats is here. We'll need to put him under into a little bit of a suck, but not going to make any kind of difference because it does get absolutely deleted. Like, I mean, absolutely deleted. It's not the worst death though. You force the enemies across the map. You need to get a little bit of farm. You're trying to take this tier 2. I get the idea. It's the rewards of ruin right now. Trying to get that power from it. It does have spell amp by 13.5. With that quick item check, does have the BKB, does have the Crystallis now, and towards that Daedalus. Shard is going to be up in a moment. They understand it as well on the Radiant team, but Ophelia is hitting the tier 3s right now, and the lane is pushed here in the bottom lane, channeling vibes of Shaun the Sheep right now on Essence Madness. The Blink Hex does show into the stun. It's almost certainly going to be able to make their way out here on Ophelia. Actually, she turns. Let's make their way out. A couple more of these hypnotized thingy-majiggies. What are these called? Ether Remnants? Ether Remnants.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
Top lane, Muncie. He is charged right now. Does need to be careful. The charge does continue. Oh, Icy also needs to be very careful right now. Blinks forward. Hits the Q into the E. It needs to send the ulti for sure. Does. The charge is still here, by the way, on Muncie. Nice dodge, though. Oh, the stun on the other side. They do find him. Muncie, that's the real one. You just need a little bit of damage. They do come through. The silence is there. That's going to be the death. That's the A gets done. The rest of the team is piling in. Lamp Supreme does need to put down her nether ward. The Blink is here. The Shoyu is here as well, but they find LG. They find Beef Supreme. A little bit of sucking is going on. Nice little suck, but not going to be enough to keep her alive. LG is going to take that death as well. And unfortunately, that charge, if that charge hits here instead of here, that goes so much better. It's just all the difference. And the supports are dead yet again. Swift Dash trying their best, but just not able to make it happen. They'd spend some gold on some paper. Not the best use of their gold, because that means they do not have buyback, by the way, because if they purchase that. And meanwhile, that is going to be Ophelia grabbed. Yoinked with no buybacks. A huge ulti comes through, rips through, but to no avail. Sothas doing the right thing, trying to split on the other side. And even if they don't have any sort of push, it doesn't really matter because you can just kill the enemies and then hit the towers, guys. Usually that doesn't work for me, but It's working right now. The TP does come back from NP. NP is here now. Does have the Demon Edge on the way. They do probably want to fight with that ulti. It's the buybacks, not buyback, sorry, the backdoor protection is here. Yules comes through. Shoyu needs to be a little bit careful. The stun is a little bit off. Needs to press Lotus on himself. Does. Elegy is trying to get her way out, not to making it anywhere through though. Shoyu is here. Gonna try and find Nature's. Does. Rax is taken. And the farm is coming through as slowly as possible here for Nature's Prophet. Making their way back. Gonna take the Torm on the way out. The Shining. This is going to either Kozi or Shoyu. Probably happy with it to go to either of them, to be honest. And Kozi's one's also really nice. To get to the double suck, which is, or triple suck, which is nice. Ballsy D ward here without seeing anyone on the map. The Radiant Vision here. They do see the Queen of Pain. Does press the Glimmer. Kozi blinks forward. Does hit the stun. Walker is there. Even another Yoink is there, though. They are kidnapping Icy. Icy needs to send the ulti. Does. Munty actually is copying quite a bit of damage. Ophelia on the backside has found Kozi. Kozi is going to die. Icy making their way out. It is going to be a 3v3, but this is Munty and Scroats versus Ophelia and Elegy. And Elegy, unfortunately, is not that powerful without their ulti. The charge does come through. Can maybe Blink stun? Yeah, if I know Scroats is going to go for it. Does. Nice little dispel instantly. Hits the Bulldoze. Probably want to just take the stun, right? With Bulldoze on. There it is. Following it up. Elegy. It's in danger. Munty's here as well. Gonna do it. And Ophelia. That Manta with that Axe. Trying to make something happen. This game was almost even not too long ago, guys. Almost only a 1k difference. Now it's turned to a massive 11k difference at 35 minutes. And Scroats missed D's lit class, which I still don't understand, but I'm hoping it's going to be explained to me by Twitch chat. It's looking absolutely monstrous. Still sitting on this Dormant Curio, by the way. Let's see what neutral item he goes for here. Should get it from this little pack here. Let's see what he chooses. Meanwhile, Shoyu does have that GD pollen bag. A little bit of suck happening. Ulti comes through. Silence. Oh, nice BKB and nuke. Completely dodging all that damage from Shoyu. Nicely done from them. Icy does get yoinked, and that's going to be the death of Icy. Scroats went for the Dazun blood right. Respect. And Muncy. This might be the end of game 2 here while they siege for the second set of racks. Nice hypnotize. So much damage actually from this simple combo, but does so much damage. And towards the Aeon disc right now for Ophelia. Respect. Scroat's gonna blink forward. Does get silenced though. Trying to find something. Is ethereal for now, then hypnotized. Charge comes through, it's on Shoyu, but is silenced while this happens. Does dispel himself, sends back that nuke, and that is the illusion of Spirit Breaker. Ophelia high-fiving the Dire Ancient. It's a tier 3 tower going down, and there's not enough damage. The charge comes through, Nova Lao sends the Yules, nicely done. Void Spirit on the back line, trying to find something, but is found. But meanwhile, Muncy just ripping and tearing to the rest of the team. Swift-Ass does send a whole bunch of damage. Scroats is going to die here. Muncy with a valiant attempt to deny, actually. Meanwhile, on the other side, Ophelia is just doing a 1v1 versus Shoyu. And looks like that Muncy is going to win that initial, or that secondary battle after getting some heart regen with Swift-Ass. The Ghost Scepter comes through, a couple more nukes. This is Ghost Scepter as well as Decrep, by the way. Glimmer Cape, the ulti comes through from IC, but Muncy doesn't really care because he's a double ganger to dodge it. Scream of Pain, Sonic Wave, doesn't matter what you send his way. is too powerful right now with all of the stats. That is going to be the next set of racks deleted. Looks like Ophelia did manage to make their way out against Shoyu. He's here trying to make something happen, but the Orchid comes through. Lancelot and Luke's coming, but the illusions do die just as that happen. And the siege begins on the last set of racks. Icy trying to get something done. The Hypnotize does come through. That does guarantee the nuke. Icy has to pop the BKB. It's tough now because there's going to be a Hex on Void Spirit. Ophelia has done such a good job so far, but to no avail. It doesn't really matter that she's Lotused because Novalau is going to take that any day of the week, get the Flaming Lasso just to keep her disabled, and it's going to be all she wrote for Elegy as well. Icy, the only core up for now. Swithdas with no BKB. Or with no buyback, apologies. This is going to be the last racks. This might be all she wrote here for Essence Madness, but they definitely played a really good show. The ulti comes through, show you BKB, dodges a whole bunch of that damage. But does get deleted, and Icy's here, does die on the dieback. A little bit of suck, a little bit of silence. Does make her way out. Swithdas does come through, does kill Scroats. Ozzy is here as well. They do have the vision. Hits the stun. Does have the suck. Glimmer Cape. Nice. That's a cheeky little Glimmer Cape from Kozzy. Nicely done. Swithdas can buy back. One last hurrah. Perhaps if Pugna does buy back. Charge happening. Chasing Kozzy. Does hit the Yules. Swithdas is here as well. Nicely done. Does press a Glimmer, but just a moment too late. Elegy does dispel themselves. Is going to have to try and get away. Will do so. The ulti comes through. Actually was almost on the right one, but does get deleted. Swithdas trying to A-click here on Muncie, but trying to front up, but it's not going to matter too much. Needs to get that Satanic for sure. Muncie took literally no damage because they couldn't figure out which one was the real one. And good game is called... oh, that preemptive, good preemptive GG from the Radiant. But it is what it is. Well played to Devious. Clean 2-0 for them. And honestly, other than game 2, a few moments in game 2 where a little bit of throw you happened, it was pretty straightforward for them on Devious. I think especially game 1 was like quite powerful. By the way, guys, don't forget in this game there was a random LC ban and there was like a random no ban as well. So a lot of these heroes could have been banned out that they had a problem with. Like for example, this Bat Rider. Not exactly sure if it was the biggest problem, but it's obviously a powerful hero in the hands of Devious. Slardar is obviously known one for Scroats, so that could have been another ban for them. But look, it is what it is. It's a nice 2-0 for Devious, and a good start to their campaign for Phoenix League International. Really well played from them. If we look at the graphs, player net worth, other than Swithdas, it was really just Swithdas trying to keep up with the rest of the cores. Ophelia had a valiant effort here, couldn't quite make things happen. Probably needed one more item at this point for her impact to be felt even stronger. And a lot of the heroes that were on the Radiant team really didn't care too much about Queen of Pain either. Of course, Peel can doppelgang to dodge a lot of damage from the ulti. Amber can always Remnant out or Slayer Fist to dodge as well. So a nice little draft here from Devious, and well-deserved victory for the 2-0 for them. So, guys, that's going to do it for today for these two teams. I'll give you guys a little bit of an update when it comes to the fixtures for Interdivision. I believe there's only been 2 games played. I'll do a little screenshot here while this happens. And then I can show it off. Zoom in a little bit while this happens. So, yeah, so this is the fixtures right now Giga zoomed in, but there's only been one game played, which was yesterday, I believe. 25% taxed. It versus Mayhem, and they did go 2-0 up. And so that means that with this play, that means Devious is also going to be 2-0, and it's unfortunately going to be a 4-0, 2-2, apologies, for Mayhem. The next game that is happening in Inter, if you guys are interested in watching, is going to be on Igor's channel. I don't know if Igor is here, but if he's here, he can shout himself out. Because I can never remember how many E's there are in his name. I'm going to have to decline that because I'm going to need to go and make some dinner. It's not going to be Igor's game. It's going to be just one more Roche, which is my team. And we're going to be versing Pig F, who I have no idea who they are. But apparently they're good, so I'm looking forward to versing them. I feel like there's like a lot of random people in Australia that I don't really know. And I'm looking forward to versing them all, so that'll be good. Choose outcome, Devious. There we go, guys. I have paid out your predictions. And that's gonna do it, guys. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna go sort out some dinner, and I'll be back at 7:30 on Igor's channel, and you guys can watch that if you want to. If you don't want to, that's also fine. All right, goodbye.